Hi, I'm Six Fingers. I want to compare the SJW movement to the Abrahamic religions. In this video I consider feminism to be part of the SJW movement. I have noticed that they have the same or similar exclusionary principles, and I want to compare them and see if the SJW movement is a political one or closer to a religion.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
I'm going to do this big sin against you. In both cases, you've defied God. In both cases, you've said no to God. That's what he's saying. He wants us to feel that every sin, from the smallest to the greatest, is against God.
Sexism used by social justice warriors shows similarities with sin used by religion. Both assume ill intent, being aware or unaware of it.
In the simplest terms, patriarchy is a social system that values masculinity over femininity. This type of social system dictates that men are entitled to be in charge and dominate women, and it implies that the natural state of gender relations is a dynamic of dominance and submission. According to patriarchal society, women are seen as weak, submissive, and an extension of men, and the highest accomplishment a woman can hope to attain is marriage, heterosexual, of course, and childbirthing.
If outright trials and tribulations do not work, he will employ subtle distractions and excuses to slowly quench your original fire. Here's some of the tricky techniques Satan will use to try to quench your sensitivity to the Spirit. Number one, busyness. If Satan can't make you bad, then he'll make you busy. Sometimes people get so entangled in the web of life that they stop spending time with God.
Here we see that the patriarchy and the devil are both oppressors and interfere in their lives, absolving them from responsibility and allow them to assume a false feeling of victimhood.
Creationists like to be lumpers. They like to put a lot of organisms together in a group. Evolutionists like to be splitters. They like to set off a whole bunch of different organisms. An evolutionist says that there's natural reproductive boundaries out there that prohibit dogs, wolves, coyotes, foxes from reproducing.
Again, there are similarities. Both want their worldview to be part of the school curriculum. That way, they ensure a growth in their movement or religion. I'm not opposed to the learning of feminism in school, but I don't want the racist guilt trip that is feminism these days. The feminism I'm talking about is how to tackle the oppression that is going on in the Middle East or in Asia. Not the spoiled narcissistic I need protection feminism. And for religion, I would like to see them teach all main religions with their drawbacks and endless wars, so we have a better understanding of our history and our future.
No, you need to get out. You need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here. Help me get him out. Who's going to help me?
Are you documenting? What are you doing?
I'm documenting.
Okay, well,
You need to get out. You need to get out.
This is public property.
We would like to ask member states to clarify and elaborate their legislation dealing with discrimination and hate crimes with specific emphasis on public figures like politicians and leading civil servants, because they are role models for the society and they should not be protected by free speech excuses when they incite hatred against Muslims and any other groups because of their position.
Both want to have the right to say everything they want, as long as the opposition doesn't have that same right. In my opinion, these are fascistic tendencies. It's very clear that the SJWs are eerily similar to a political totalitarian ideology and similar to Islam or Christian creationists. Thank you for watching my video, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I want to conclude this video with the words of the late Christopher Hitchens.
Now, actually, I do know a bit about Milton and quite a lot about Thomas Paine as well, and Mr. Paine actually updated and I think improved John Milton's Areopagitica, which is the classic case for free expression. And those of you who know Areopagitica and Paine's commentary on it will know that it recommends free speech in this way, not for you, but for the people you are listening to and the people whose comments you hope to hear in return, for your own education, for your own enlightenment, and for your own elucidation. As Mr. Paine says, commenting on Milton, one of the vices of those who would repress the opinions of others is they make themselves prisoners of their own opinions, because they deny themselves the right and the means of changing them. Should this not be as plain as could be? The free interplay of ideas is not something that those of us who wish to speak or unload our opinions insist upon for that sake. It's because we want to hear what is said in response, however unwelcome it may be to us. Thus, the defense of any one opinion or form of expression is a defense of all of them. The classic statement in modern times of this, in my view, would be Ari Nayar's book, Defending My Enemy, where he describes the decision of the American Civil Liberties Union, of which I'm a supporter, to take the case of the American Nazi Party and its right to parade swastikas through the town of Skokie, Illinois, a favorite retirement community for those who'd survived the final solution. ACLU lost a lot of members on that proposition, but we did the right thing by the First Amendment. In the book, he has a wonderful extract from Robert Bolt's play Man for All Seasons, which some of you will have seen at least in celluloid form, where, if you recall, Sir Thomas More is talking to one of the witch hunters and prosecutors and says, so you'd cut a road through the laws, would you, to get after the devil? And the witch hunter and prosecutor says, I'd cut down every law in England to do that. And Thomas More said, that's worth knowing. And when the devil turned round to meet you and had you at bay, where would you look for shelter, Mr. Prosecutor? The laws all being flat and cut down. Where would you turn then? It's impossible ever to think of infringing the right of anyone else to free speech without arranging, in a sense, calling in advance for this to happen to you too.